Games said he had a YouTube channel, so I had to check him out and drop a sub. Okay, so I did check his channel afterwards and didn't see the match, so I pretty much forgot about it until I went back to edit the script, where I found that he had actually posted a YouTube short about our game. As the short's title would suggest, we easily took down the Fallen King on this map. Game 3 was on Honey Valley, which is one of, if not the single easiest map in the game. This player, Billy, fittingly enough, brought the Bee Swarmer Tower, which gave the Fallen King some funny animations as we took him down. The next map was Toyboard, a staple of TDS and a map that's always been considered kind of free, as is Fungi Island, one of the most atmospheric maps, but least challenging. Crystal Cave was the first map where I fell victim to matchmaking, as half the team didn't join, and me and Foxery had to go for the duo win. This guy had some pretty rare stuff, such as the Frostbuster Tower and the Gargoyle Commander skin. Always fun to see older units like that. So, combined with my engineer, okay, so I haven't really talked about my towers yet. Basically, I started off this challenge swapping around my loadouts a lot, just messing around with weird towers. But towards the end of the challenge, I really focused on engineer and accelerator, the two strongest towers necessary for harder maps, and it was with those towers that me and Foxery melted the boss. I tried to repeat that success on another duo game on Portland, where again, half my team left. However, my teammate here, FYJ-Gugg8, placed exactly 2 farms, upgraded them both to level 1, and went to stand by this dumpster, where he spent the next 12 minutes AFK, and then disconnected. I tried sending him a friend request to tell him to join back, and I saw he was already in another game. So I lost that match, and had to come back much later to beat Portland officially, where things went a little bit smoother with a full team. After that, I breezed through a few more maps, clearing Grass Isles, the most tryhard of tryhard maps, U-Turn, this map is actually multiple U-turns, and the Atlas Coliseum, one of my favorite maps design-wise. Then comes Meltdown. We actually came kinda close to losing here, it wasn't going very well. And there was this player, Kazhui, who I believe was Russian, and he started saying some interesting stuff. Video of my favorite song, okay? Check 3. Don't have any questions. About to start. At first, I thought this guy's English might have just been a bit rough, but then later I said, I don't understand what you're saying. He said, XD same. So I think he was doing a little bit of trolling. We continued our conversation throughout the late game. Check 99. Where do I find 99? Same thing, I can see you all the time to be in my. What 9999? So I said, I only have 8731, just a random number. And he said, I'm sorry. With a lot of gravity I thought, this was very serious. We defeated the Fallen King, but he didn't speak for the rest of the game. The next map was Forest Camp. I always think this one is Army Camp, I haven't named the file that. But even the reworked version of this map is still pretty easy. Next, we've got to tackle the elephant in the room, the dual lane maps. These are typically classified as insane difficulty, and are much harder than normal maps, since there are 2 zombies now. The first of these I tackled was Winter Stronghold, and my first 2 attempts didn't go very well, but I was hoping this third run would be victorious. A thing I noticed with this map is everyone always defends this side, and then the northeast end just has nothing, which might have been partially because our 4th teammate, Oxydry, just wasn't there. I mean, he was in the lobby, but his character was nowhere to be seen, and he certainly wasn't placing anything. So we just had to hope he would appear at some point. We took some damage from hit-ins, and the fallen zombies pushed this far along the path. The only upside here was that placement ranges could overlap both paths at once, if done right, which is how we survived those waves. I looked desperately for Oxydry, and actually did find him, hidden under the snowbank here, but he was still unresponsive. We reached wave 30, a wave where this dumb tank zombie always spawns with a lot of health. And here, he was multiplied. We took down tank number 2, but I overestimated the power of the other path, and tank 1 got pretty close there. The run was obviously chalked, unless Oxydry returned. At this point, he had now been AFK for almost 30 minutes, and had $100,000 of spending money. Wave 31, nothing. Wave 32, nothing. Wave 33, still it. 34, 35, 36, he still just was not there. Until he was, as he came back in wave 37 and began to place his first towers, saving the run with a second DJ from the north path and a bunch of DPS towers, giving us a massive late game boost, pumping up our DPS, killing the Fallen King, a game for the ages. Next, I returned to some single lane maps. This Sacred Mountain game was looking to be a bit of a disaster. As Billy pointed out here, it was a bit of a weird film choice. Map choice. This guy's autocorrect went crazy. With one teammate Ghost and the other AFK again, 10 waves in I say, we might have to deal with it. And Billy's like, yeah maybe. Only for Jack to come alive. Nope. So with all three of us working together, this map was a cakewalk. 2 back-to-back AFK player clutches. Crazy. I then hopped on a dual lane map, Musake's Kingdom. I think this is a rare occasion where the grandeur of the map itself outshines the difficulty, as this was a dual lane map, but the paths don't remain split for very long, and even with 2x zombies, we had a ton of splash damage towers to cancel them. And since, even with multipliers, only one of the final boss spawns, it wasn't too bad. Next, I knocked out another dual lane map in Space City, except this is actually only a single lane map, because it's a legacy arena which hasn't yet been updated to fit the new modifier system. So although there's 2 paths, only the regular amount of zombies spawn, split evenly between them. This was also the case with a few other dual lane maps, and each time it substantially lowered the difficulty. Next, I played a duo game on farmlands, where a third teammate, Top G, left early on. Probably a good thing. Me and this player, Centauro, easily got the win. Spring Fever was another quick map, featuring a very long path and no extra gimmicks, as with Winter Bridges, which partially shares the name with Winter Abyss. I was confused. Anyways, we got that one, and moved on to another insane difficulty map, Mason Arch, a legitimate dual path. Now strategy was kind of important here, and I really focused on gladiators, as they could tuck nicely into these little pockets here, and use piercing damage against the hordes. My teammate Stebo was chilling. He asked me if I had this old gladiator skin. I do, big flex. And with our towers standing on these very unsafe wooden outcroppings, we pushed through the early game. It was all going very well, until Stebo asked me to upgrade DJ. Mid me upgrading my DJ. So I was like, wow, I really read your mind there. And he left, leaving the 3 of us to fight the 2x tanks in wave 30. Now Stabilis did join back fairly quickly, but there's a problem. He was experiencing a glitch where your towers don't load in and you can't do anything. I've actually encountered this bug a lot, even during this challenge, and it's quite frustrating. Me and Satyr suggested we try rejoining again, and he left to do that, but pushing wave 40, when he joined back for the second time, he still couldn't do anything, turning a surefire win into a bit more of a challenge. As the fallen team pushed past the bulk of our central defense, I started to panic sell new towers. We reached the final intersection, and we narrowly averted catastrophe. So after that, I decided to try to knock out another dual lane map, this one being the Black Spot Exchange, a unique pirate themed map where the zombies have intertwining spawn points. My teammates here were super high level, probably the most experienced team of this whole thing. By late game we were looking like this. In the end it was pretty easy. For map 22, I played the duo game on Happy Home over Bloxfield. My teammate Hack Era had the most OG tower in TDS, the Commando, even sporting the pirate skin. Always fun to see, even if not instrumental in our victory. Tropical Isles, meanwhile, was a whole different story. Matthias asked for a shoutout for his cat Rebel, shoutout Rebel, and that conversation sparked AF1 to speak up. This dude was interesting. He claimed to be a specific music artist, which he definitely was not, and in response to my questions he said, "Have you met me IRL? No. So how exactly can you know?" I mean, that's irrefutable evidence right there. We went back and forth for a while. He kept repeating that he really was this artist. I knew this guy was trolling, but I was low-key like, this is some good content. Eventually, I asked if he knew the lyrics to his own supposed song, and he was like, "What? I didn't make that. This guy did." And then he typed out something mildly inappropriate. Finally, I was just fed up with this guy, so I said, "I'm blocking you," and then I blocked him. I was more preoccupied with that conversation here than the actual game.